And the birds? Good and all good. Good. That's good. Carolers! It isn't Christmas. Christmas Eve tomorrow, Mom. Advent. Shall I give him something? Stick here. Mince pie? I made some. Forgive me. Go on. Be at peace, please. No more of this. It's done. Be at peace now.
Is this theatricality really necessary?
It's to soothe the mind, Professor, nothing more.
Don't see why it can't be done in broad daylight.
There are no tricks, Professor. The table will not cavort about the room.
You're not Mrs. Betty Hope of the voluminous crinoline.
This is a science, sir. A spiritual science.
Why must it happen at night?
When did you see the figure?
At night?
There.
But why should these spirits not visit at noon?
Sometimes they do. There's a woman back home in Virginia sees Thomas Jefferson every lunchtime.
Really?
Sets her clock by him.
I say, a friend of mine at King's asked me this the other week. Why don't the working classes see ghosts? Why don't the working classes see ghosts? Because they're too busy. Too busy.
Now, before we begin, I would ask for you to clear your mind.
Is it me, or is the air even sweeter?
I hadn't noticed.
Sweetness, terrific sweetness. And no, it's not camphor, it's something else. Hyssop. That's it. She uses hyssop to clean.
What is hyssop?
It's a herb. Its name comes from the Hebrew, yesop, meaning holy herb. And Pliny the Elder refers to it in his natural history. It was used to purify and for sacrifice.
You will notice that the table is a table. I have made no adjustments or additions.
It is a table, common or garden table. And what is that?
Just a little something from the Indians near my home.
Now look here, I will not countenance shamanism.
It's to concentrate the mind, Professor. It has no other value.
Good. For I have no interest whatsoever in ritual, tribal dancing, or any attendant warbling, sir.
You go to church, don't you?
That is different.
Please, try to keep an open mind.
Your point?
Whatever should happen to us, it exists, correct?
It exists.
And how do we know this?
We perceive it, here and now, agree upon it.
Please, place your hands, palms down, upon the table, and breathe deeply, regularly. Now we may begin. Is there anyone there? You entities with no corporeal existence, speak. Please speak. Make yourselves known to us now.
Good Lord.
If you are present, please show yourselves.
Well, that appears to conclude our business, Dr. Beauregard. Thank you so much for your time.
You're here.
You've had a cash advance, and the remainder shall be a cheque drawn on my Coots account.
Yes.
I take it a cheque
I
is accepted.
understand. They are both here.
Who is here and where?
Look at them.
Where?
Welcome, madam.
What am I looking for exactly?
And you, young man, well, aren't you just charming?
Who?
And your name is Birdie.
Now look here.
Birdie really misses his daddy.
Beauregard!
And
Don't-
Birdie is charming. He's quite the young gentleman. He
What?
wants to go looking for treasure by the sea again.
What?
And spot birds from the hide at Hun Stanton.
Snap.
Ice cream on the pier there.
Oh my God. Oh my boy. What am I looking for? Is he here?
You are welcome, madam.
Who? Where are they?
Please, come to me. Now!
No! Beauregard!
Hello, Gabriel.
You are... Who are you?
It's Elizabeth, Gabriel.
Elizabeth.
You're Elizabeth. Bertie and I are well. Think of this, my darling, as a great tour or adventure. We are both in the light, and so many of our dear friends are here. There was no pain. Bertie runs and plays in the light. Darling, you should see him.
Elizabeth?
Yes, Gabriel?
Why are you using the name you hate?
My love?
You are Bess. You were always Bess. Your father called you Elizabeth. You hated him, so hated the name. Fraud! Unconscionable! Fraud!
What?
Shame on you!
What are you doing?
You have been to the Public Records Office. You have read the newspapers. You knew they were lost on the heroic.
No.
My articles in the Naturalist describe an ornithological hide at Cromer, close to Hunstanton.
Professor,
You knew.
I did not
Fraud!
know. No, sir, What is that sound?
Is this you? Your work?
Good God, what is that?
Save us! Save us! Please! I'll give anything, please! It's coming! No way! Please, God, no! No! No!
No! Yes! Yes! I need a yes!
Bertie!
Bertie! How are you?
What?
How are you?
What is that?
A life belt from the SS Heroic.
Now? Now do you believe?
Believe what?
We were on the deck of that ship.
Were we?
You called out to your wife.
An illusion. Of superlative quality,
Professor.
but an illusion nonetheless.
How?
You are a fraud, sir. An illusionist, as you have demonstrated, who used the time before coming here wisely.
Your wife and son were here.
Our clothes are quite dry, sir. This room is unchanged, save for us. Even Betty Hoop of the voluminous crinoline could research, sir. You have been to the Public Records Office. You also stopped off at the library.
There is a life belt to that ship.
A prop. A theatrical's prop.
And the storm. You have a cause for the storm.
A ruse. Perhaps you mesmerized me. Yes, that's it. You have spent time in France, sir. Home of mesmerism and mob rule. Darwin would pay much to see me humiliated.
I think you greatly overestimate your significance.
I fight for God, sir. And the world he made, and the creatures and objects, apples, he populated that world with. A kind God. A God who would never willingly deceive nor take away the means to understand his creation. Forgive me.
Your boy was 5 years old. Your wife visiting one of her oldest friends married to an American who didn't want her to go. The storm clouds were gathering in my country at that time. You quarreled, but you loved her to distraction. Kissed them both on the dark side and made them promise that they'd be home for Christmas. You hugged your son and you held him close to you. He said, "I won't let you go." And to you, that was sunlight. For he had changed you, made you certain for the first time of an order in things. He'd given you something to work for, something to defend. You loved him more than your own life. You believed that the time before him was a pale and empty dream. He was living itself to you, wasn't he, Professor? And ever since he was torn from the deck of that ship, you have felt nothing at all for anyone or anything.
What parent does not love their child, uncritically and without condition? I lost my son. In fact, I cannot alter nor redeem. My consolation is that he was with his mother, who loved him as I did. Men love their wives, Dr. Beauregard. Parents love their children, one hopes. That is no revelation. Your gift, if it may be called that, is a kind of vague intuition, empathy teamed with a rum sort of luck. I could see it at the Egyptian Hall in Piccadilly on any night save Sunday, paying no more than 1 penny.
Professor, the gift is not a constant. Now, I confess that I have, on occasion, assisted the spirits somewhat in their manifestations. I did know of your wife and son, but they still appeared before me as real as you are now.
Your words may give comfort to the simple-minded.
This is not comfort, Professor. You cannot deny the evidence of your senses here. It exists. Another world. Sweet Jesus.
Who is it?
Me, Florence. Early morning tea, sirs.
Come in.
Oh, sirs. I'm so sorry. Forgive me. Oh, God in heaven. What is that?
It is a life belt from the SS Heroic.
The ship that sank?
The ship that sank.
Drowning my wife and child 15 years ago this very day.
Oh, sir. I'm so sorry. How is it here?
According to the professor, I have mesmerized him.
You have not. I accept that.
Mesmerised?
You can see. You can see that this is evidence of the supernatural.
I came to defeat Darwin, sir, not overturn the Enlightenment.
You cannot explain this.
Alas, sir, I concede that I cannot.
Ha! Good.
What are you doing?
Leaving.
What?
There will be no further charge, Professor.
Sir, this spirit must be confronted.
So you're an expert now, Miss Kennedy.
You know it must be done.
Not by me. I have discovered America. Others may subdue it. Good day to you both. It has been enlightening.
Coward!
What did you say?
You heard me.
Don't say that. Don't ever say that.
Why? You fled to the war, and now You are fleeing this house. Coward.
I would strongly recommend you retract that remark.
And if you fought for the Yankee Union, then I am a Dutchman, sir.
Retract, sir, or if!
I am a naturalist. I call a thing by its name. The cedar, the swallow, the duck-billed platypus. You, sir, are a coward.
Sirs, think of the mistress. I beg you.
You do not know one half of it, sir. Take back thy accursed money.
Forgive me, Florence, for that altercation.
So the mistress has brandy?
No, I cannot. How does she live with this?
Before you came, there were instances, noises.
But nothing to match a tempest in a room.
No,
Is it me?
I don't know, sir.
Have I summoned it here?
Ow,
My loss, my grief,
I don't know.
my rage.
I wish I could tell you.
Curiouser and curiouser.
Alice's Adventures in Wonderland, sir.
You know it.
My son insists upon it every bedtime.
It's full of madmen, is it not?
It's a paradise. Tea?
Tea. Yes.
Once upon a time, there were 3 little sisters, and they lived at the bottom of a treacle well.
What?
What did they live on? Treacle!
What are you talking about?
The dormouse, sir.
Ah, yes, of course.
Milk and sugar?
Please, 2, please.
That man, Mr. Cowell, sir, he sees like a child. Oh, how big the world is. How frightening and exciting it is. We've forgotten, but he remembers just what it's like to be as free as a child. Like Caleb, he has a chapter every night. And when he's finished, he has it again.
Does he often visit you here?
Sometimes. Mrs. Hinchcliffe won't have him in the airs. At first, I thought it was our colour, but it's not that. She has faith, sir. I give her that. She often says, our black man carried our Lord's cross.
And Caleb has no father.
Oh, he does, sir, but we hardly see him. I know him from the village. The first house I was in service, he delivered for the greengrocer. He asked me if I wanted to go dancing, and, well, one thing led to another. When I told him, he'd look like he'd seen a ghost. Beg pardon, sir. He fled back to London, and that was that. Mrs. Hinchcliffe, she took me on soon after. No one else would have touched us. She's kind like that, sir. A godly woman. When you first saw me, I was waiting for Caleb. I got him one of those balloons from those gypsies camped at Winchelsea. He lost it later and got all cross. I can't be without him, sir. It's a weakness with me.
Would that more people had such a weakness, Florence?
Thank you, sir.
Why does Mrs. Hinchcliffe use hyssop?
She says it keeps things clean.
Many things might do that.
What do you mean?
She said the master, Elijah Marchant, went to the east.
He vanished there.
What if he didn't? Perhaps she uses hyssop because he returned with it. He returned from the east. Florence, I don't think he vanished at all. I think he returned. I think he's in this house.
You've taken a turn.
We know what kind of a man he was. A firebrand, a fanatic. Perhaps he was testing us, testing our faith, using us. A house like this could conceal a man within its rooms, its grounds. And if he is here, then I shall find him. Stay here, Florence.
Do you mind if I...
Go ahead.
I'd like to watch the ships here. I think I'd like America. I'd like the sky.
How so?
I saw a show about it at the Lambourne years back. There was a ship up on the stage. Beautiful clipper in full sail. Lovely big petty clouds beyond. It was set before that war you had.
Yes, that war we had.
What's that all about?
I haven't the faintest idea.
Steamers took the place of clippers. Give me a sail any day. Progress, they call it. What's progress? My dad was a weaver. We're at the loom at home with us, crawling and toddling. Factors came. First day he lost his finger. We were half starved. What progress is that? What's it mean, any of it?
I really don't know, Mrs. Hinchcliffe.
Look, I told a lie about the house, but I'm not a liar. It's a clean house, sir.
Yes, you have said.
Is ever such a clean house?
Mrs. Hinchcliffe, I have never, in all of my time, encountered such raw, elemental power from the world as the spirit as I experienced in your home today. I very much doubt it ever can be cleansed.
Well, there's not a lot I can do about that. It knows me. It's content with me. It only gets upset
When
when others come.
I admire your fortitude, Mrs. Hinchcliffe.
Are you leaving?
I must.
You miss the last train from Hastings.
Then I'll get a hotel.
On Christmas Eve? Our Saviour couldn't find a place on Christmas Eve.
Well, then I will be in good company. Good day to you, madam.
No, don't go, please. Stay.
I cannot.
Run then, if that's who you are, if you've no backbone.
Have you ever heard of Gettysburg?
Can't say I have.
Last great battle of the Civil War. Maybe the worst it's ever been. And I was there. Just a kid, out of his depth in Confederate grade. The losing side, you may have heard. The ones who wanted to keep the blacks enslaved. But some of us fought for other things. The right to preserve our patch of earth, home and hearth. So there I was, no shoes and the world on fire. Gathered us recruits together and marched us at the Yankee lines. We walked, we opened up our guns and theirs fell silent. We marched on, and we got so close that we could almost touch those Yankee guns. I recall, to my shoulder, Jeb Smith of Concord, Tennessee, turning and grinning. As a shot ripped away his chest and left him standing, spine, ribs, still grinning. See, those Yankee guns weren't done with us yet. Did you endure that? I could not. I turned and I ran, and the ranks parted before me. I ran through orchards slung with corpses. There is a God. He had not favored us in Gettysburg. That night I ran some more through the forest of Pennsylvania. It was there I saw Jeb Smith again, real as you are now, with his arms stretched out to me, beckoning me to another world. I've been looking for that world ever since, in the halls and seance rooms, far from home. But the dead, it seems, are every bit as inconstant as the living.
I'm sorry for what I said. You think the Master's onto us?
I believe that he is a malignant, fallen
No,
soul.
he was a good man, sir. He was the holiest man I ever
I
met.
believe you know more than you will ever say, Mrs. Hinchcliffe.
Not him, it can't be him.
Mrs. Hinchcliffe, I confess I cannot return to that house. I do not know what happened to that man Marchant, and I do not wish to know.
I'll tell you all the same.
Please, please,
The
do
Master came home from his travels, sir. But he came home a leper. And I think the disease is still in the house. It's in the walls and the floorboards. He was a leper. And he died screaming here. Sealed away, destroyed. But he went to give comfort.
So you clean, you purify.
I follow the Bible. It says how to keep it out. It tells you to kill birds and use their blood. But I couldn't do it. No faith.
Not your fault, Mrs. Hinchcliffe. It's not your fault.
If it's him, we must help him. He deserves that kindness.
I'm sorry.
Please, sir.
I cannot resist the forces of work here. Do you understand me? Good day, madam.
Help us.
Beauregard's supplies.
God.
I think they use it to clear the ice off the roads in West Virginia.
He came to me,
Beauregard?
marching.
What did he want?
Sir, he did not seem like an older man.
Did you see him?
He was so angry, so lost.
Lost? What do you mean?
Sir, this creature has known no happiness.
Elijah Marchant vanished in the east. We know no more.
He craves something now.
What?
Company. Others.
Then perhaps we have been gathered here for a reason.
You believe that?
Florence, that night, you said I had a child.
It came into my mind.
How?
From yours. For a moment.
Florence, I believe you are what spiritualist people call a sensitive. You do possess an attraction, magnetic or electrobiological, sympathetic.
What are you saying, sir?
I confess, I have no idea. I'm entirely lost. But that night, in the ensuing chaos, I held you. And I'm ashamed to admit
You liked it?
No, Lord, no. Yes. Very much. Please don't think badly of me, but it has been 15 years. I made a promise to my wife, you see. I made a promise.
You made a promise to a ghost?
No, to a memory. You see, these things, our senses, they can lead us astray. Not that we are misled necessarily, but...
Sir,
yes.
I liked it too.
Oh.
Does God mean for us to suffer?
To endure, perhaps.
Or to feel?
I suppose the literal meaning of the Latin word religion is to rebind, to rejoin us to something, to... Good grief, can it mean that?
I believe it can, sir.
I was thinking more of Adam's umbilicus.
Sir,
Yes.
What's your name?
My name?
Your name? First name?
It's Gabriel. My mother thought when I was born I had these curls, blonde curls.
Hello, Gabriel.
Lawrence!
I must.
Yes.
I should.
At once.
You brought your boy here. The professor overturned the house. I've seen his thing.
I can help it.
This is your fault, girl. You summoned it. Put it back.
No! Listen to me!
You brought your boy.
Please!
I have asked you here so that we may summon the spirit of Elijah Marchant. You understand? Mrs. Hinchcliffe, I very much appreciate what you told me. You felt obliged to protect him, his memory.
It's my livelihood, sir.
I understand that. You know, it's really quite extraordinary. A Christmas ghost.
It is Advent, sir. Advent until the bells chime 12. Then and only then does our Saviour enter this world.
I apologize. May I ask how you protected yourself from the illness?
A mask across the mouth. His meals were left at his door. His ablutions were agony for him. I wore gloves to remove the water and the rags. Took his senses from him day by day. I don't wish for any sort of trouble. I need people to come here. I want it to be a hotel.
I understand that.
Why all these theatrics?
I wish I could tell you, but whatever is here, it seems to like this.
Are you a religious man, Professor?
Yes, absolutely. A sidesman at the Chapel of Kings.
You think he'd approve of this?
I've no idea. But my belief, its bedrock, is that we are the children of a loving Father who would not deceive us.
Faith.
Yes.
Then we must say a prayer.
Good idea. St. Francis healing the sick, specifically a leper.
You gave Elijah Marchant comfort.
How did I not see?
Mom?
Good. Then I think we are ready to begin.
The American should be here.
But he is not. And I think we should be a circle, and I assume we are meant to join hands. Is anybody there? Entities, things that have no corporeal existence in this world. Are you among us? Oh, Lord.
Carry on, Gabriel.
Show yourselves, please.
Nothing. There'll be nothing.
Please send us some greeting.
I told you there'd be nothing at all to worry about. Oh, please God, no.
Marchant! Elijah Marchant! Beauregard!
Sorry.
You damn fool!
I'm sorry.
I knew you'd come.
Have you begun yet, Stokes?
There was no other choice!
But you don't know what you're doing, man.
And why the change of heart?
It exists. Do you concede that it exists?
It exists. But why have you...
A debt of honor, sir.
Are you able to proceed?
I'm ready. Now. You entities with no corporeal...
He's done that bit.
Elijah Marchant, are you here? Do you wish to speak with us?
Nothing.
Are you here?
I think the perchance has been lost.
There's something.
Where?
It has entered the room.
How do you know?
He is with us. Elijah Marchant, tell us, why do you haunt this place? Why do you haunt this place?
It isn't him.
Elijah Marchant!
Please. I'll give anything. Please. It's coming! The way! Please, God, no! No! No!
No!
Papa!
Bertie.
It's me,
Oh
Papa.
God, if this is some trick!
It's as cold as the grave.
I miss you so much.
I miss you too.
Mama cries.
Kiss her for me.
It's so dark.
Find the light.
Can't. There's another boy. He won't let me. He won't let me pass.
Who is he?
Papa!
Who is he? Bertie! Bertie! Bertie!
He's gone.
He can't do this! Marchant! Show yourself! Give me my child!
Professor, stay calm. It wants this.
What does it want? What are you talking about? Give me my boy!
What's that behind me? He's
Elijah
behind me.
Marchant, speak.
He's breathing on my neck.
Why do you haunt this place?
Help me, oh God!
Shouldn't have begun. We should never have begun.
He's breathing on me.
Oh God.
Please, no.
What is that?
Elijah Marchant, why are you here? What do you want?
His hands are on my shoulders.
Who is he?
Elijah Marchant, speak to us. In the name of God, speak to us now!
I can't! For God's sake, woman, tell us!
Hello, Agnes.
Florence, stop this!
You don't recognize me.
Stop this! Stop her!
It's not Florence!
Of course it's
She's a medium!
Leave her. She's in a trance.
She's the girl I took on, the girl I saved from the workhouse with her mother and the baby.
Spirit, who are you?
Look, I'm a Beckenham.
Florence.
Agnes, look at me. You haven't the heart to kill the birds, so I killed them. I stopped their little hearts, and I'll stop yours.
Daniel.
I've come home, Agnes.
Daniel?
Elijah Marchant's son. Marchant and son. No living issue.
I know you. You want this body.
How dare you?
Daniel, I did my best for your father.
The disease ate Papa
I'm
away,
so sorry.
and we watched. You held me to the glass.
You could not touch him, Daniel. The risk was too great.
I wanted to hold him so much.
He wanted you close, wanted to see you, but
I was a child.
Daniel, listen to me. The others left. The others ran from this house when they found out about your father. There was no cure, Daniel. No hope. But I stayed, and you know why I stayed?
You should have let me in.
I loved you, Daniel. I loved your father.
You should have let me in, Agnes.
I could not. Every day I led you through the house to the glass, and every day you begged to enter the room. You could not touch him.
Daniel, listen to me. Look to the light.
What light?
Look.
It's so cold now.
Daniel, why are you here?
No.
I don't.
You called to me.
Daniel, forgive me. Forgive me if I've let you down. Your papa wanted so much to be near you. Forgive me.
Keep the
Forgive
circle.
me.
Daniel, you are destroying us.
What do we do?
I don't
There
know.
must be something.
He can't feel. He needs to feel.
Feel. How?
The thing he loved the most, he could not hold, could not comfort. He believes he cannot feel.
Of course he can't Beauregard. He's a ghost.
Maybe he doesn't know that.
Daniel!
Oh, no, it is my shepherd. Charlotte won't be me.
Professor, do
Bertie
not
is
go to him.
with him.
Professor,
He told us.
Professor, do not go.
It's been so long, so very long, to be without them.
But you cannot.
I have a loss I cannot bear.
Listen to me.
You had it right before. My life has been a pale, an empty dream.
But we must live. We must endure.
No more! Please, no more. It's all right, Daniel. There's no need to be alone. There is light.
Oh, please,
So
no.
much light. Let
Gabriel!
me show you.
Gabriel!
Oh, sweet Jesus.
Goodbye, child.
And, in conclusion, those are the facts of the incident in the Sea House, Christmas Eve in the year of our Lord, 1875. Of my friend Gabriel Stokes, esteemed writer, Fellow of the Royal Society and Professor of Natural Science at King's College, Cambridge, there has been no word and no trace. Extensive searches of the house and its grounds, the neighboring shoreline, and the sea itself were hampered by the light and worsening weather conditions upon that Christmas morning. In the absence of a body, Professor Stokes was pronounced dead by a London court 6 months later. He left no living issue.
Come. Florence, well, look at you. The beautiful woman has come. Has it really been a year?
It has. How are you, Tom?
I'm well. I'm writing an account of that Christmas. Every fact, every detail. You did refer to some news?
Yes. Agnes Inchcliffe. She passed 2 weeks ago.
Oh, she did. Well, that makes me sad.
She was
a good woman, a woman of faith.
There were many at the funeral, Tom.
You know, much of my story is based on her accounts.
She endured much.
So who owns the Sea House now?
She placed it in trust for Master, Caleb Kennedy.
Your son? Oh, congratulations to Agnes Hinchcliffe. Do you want a drink?
No, thank you.
And there it is. The facts of the incident at the Sea House, as witnessed by Thomas Douglas Beauregard III, Doctor of Spiritual Science. I have publishers interested here and in the United States considerable
Tom,
interest.
Please, do not publish your account.
You know I can't do that.
I want to make the place a hotel, as Agnes wished.
Agnes Hinchcliffe told me everything. How Daniel's mother had died in childbirth, leaving the father and son alone save for Agnes and the nanny. Then when Elijah Marchand returned sick, the rest of the domestics just abandoned the place, except for Agnes. Daniel would drag his toy box in an impatient rage and hurl abuse at Agnes, but she never faltered. Such was her love for them both. When Elijah Marchand died, Daniel was sent away to school, but he had endured too much, and no school could hold him. And at the age of 14 years...
He drowned himself! I know that part.
You know, I believe that when Stokes arrived at the Sea House, Daniel sensed a pain as deep as his own and reached out for him. Sure you won't have that drink?
Tom, please do not publish.
You know, Stokes believed that the incident at the Sea House and the question of what exists were different things, but they were not. They were one and the same thing, all part of one question. Did that boy exist to Elijah Marchand? By the end, did he exist at all?
Of course he existed.
How? Marchand couldn't see, nor sense, nor feel.
What do you want me to say? The world exists because it means something to us. The other choice is
Darkness. Cataclysm.
curiouser and curiouser.
What is that?
A book about a child who gets lost.
Florence, my account of the Sea House will make our names, you and I. I mean to say, you are the finest spirit medium I have ever seen. Imagine what we might achieve together.
You spent too much time amongst the spirits, Tom.
But we are on the edge of such wonders. Can't you see that?
Forgive me, but when we first met, you asked me if my son were a figment or a phantom. He is neither. Agnes Hinchcliffe, she saved us through kindness. A simple thing. She gave us warmth, light. Even in death she gives us the living. You publish! If you put that at risk!
I've come too far to turn back now.
Tom!
I've said all I'm going to say on the matter. Good day to you.
And I'm sorry. Merry Christmas to you, sir.
Matter of fact, it's Advent. Advent till the bells chime 12. How do we prove the thing exists? Hello? Is anyone there? Florence? Florence? Finest spirit medium I have ever seen. How do we prove the thing exists, Professor? Prove the thing exists. We prove the thing exists by ending it.
Puts me by surprise and all those things that went wrong. guys. I'm going to lock you up. Well done. Well done, guys.
That's a good one. Right. I'll take kick up.
What could that possibly be? Stop having fun. You're not here to enjoy yourself.